Bob Moog, if I don't make you proud on this, I'm sorry, but I'm trying. One more time. The thing about an analog synthesizer is that it's analogous to an acoustic instrument because it really is sound being created on the spot by an oscillator in the moment, as opposed to a digital synthesizer, which is pretty much accessing a library of pre-recorded sounds or pre-created sounds that never change, are always exactly the same, and are not really, they don't really come from like a spontaneous moment, which is great for some things. So right here, this is the Moog Mother 32, which is a mono analog synthesizer that is semi-patchable or semi-modular, as they say. It may seem daunting to look at the beginning, but it really is no different than any acoustic instrument if you can grasp the concepts of what it is, or the concept of what it is. Mm-hmm. So an oscillator is just the tone source. It literally is just, you know, that is the same as plucking a string and having the vibrations of the string produce a sound. A fast attack and a long decay, right? And if we pull the decay back, there's less sustain. And likewise with the attack, the slower the attack, the longer it takes to reach the top of the envelope. The filter is really just shaping the tone, which, you know, there's many different kinds of filters, high pass, low pass, but it really just shapes the tone, whether it be opening it up to have the full spectrum of the sound or closing it to be just the low end, or pulling in the resonance, so it's just the high ends. When I first got this, I kind of challenged myself to just come up with little bits of music on it every day for a couple weeks and see if I could come up with a song or something. So built into this unit is a sequencer, which allows you to program a sequence of notes that repeat or whatever. So one of the first few things I came up with was this sequence that goes like this. And at first I kind of had it going around like this, right? And then slowly roll off the attack a little bit, bring in the decay. I kind of had this thing going, and it's like, well, I don't know if that's really that nice to listen to, so if you slowly bring it down in tempo, you have the intro to the song. And I kind of had this with a couple more notes, and I came up with this little bit, which is different than the original. This is what the original sequence that I had, and I had this kind of thing that sounds like the Postal Service or something, like. So that was what I came up with, and then my friend Dave Monks from Tokyo Police Club came in. I showed him this, I was all stoked on it, and he was like, why don't you just take the first 4 notes and just delete everything else and let's make a brand new song. So we took and the rest was play.
Roll the dice in a fool's game.
So pretty much using every little toy and instrument in here over the last 2-3 years, I started making recordings and came up with the record. It was a slow process, but ultimately I'm really happy about the album. I really like the way it came out. It feels like a complete statement.
This is how we play.
It's definitely a collection of songs that fit into the modern kind of scape of where music is at, but I feel like I try to approach these vastly digital recordings in a place of analog origin. So if I'm ever chopping something up, chopping up a piece of audio, or putting it in the digital realm, I try to have its birth from an organic place, like sampling a piano with a live piano, and turning it into sort of a synthesized sound. So I feel like it falls in this world of analog and digital. Yeah, I think my general approach is just, it must come from some kind of performance. It must come from some kind of real feeling inside of you, or else it's going to be very obvious. So even if it's a sequence kind of entirely from the computer concept, I think there can be human life inside of that, and I try my best to find that human life inside the computers. Hey, this is Ben Talmi. You're watching Baeble Music.